The Museum of the Marine is dedicated to celebrating the contributions and accomplishments of the Carolina-based Marine Corps organizations and the communities which supported them since their activation for World War II. Defense of this great nation falls to the men and women who answer the call to duty. Who are these everyday Americans that act so selflessly to ensure our democracy? The Museum of the Marine will allow visitors to experience what life as a Carolina-based Marine was like and what changes and sacrifices were brought about as the Marine Corps came to the Carolinas. Starting in 1941 with the establishment of New River and Camp Lejeune, and including other outposts throughout the Carolinas, the museum will showcase the many contributions of Carolina Marines and the citizens of the communities in which these bases resided. Our mission is to honor and preserve the unique history of the Marines and the Carolinas and their extraordinary deeds in war and peace, and to recognize the significant contributions provided by the civilian communities that supported them. The Museum of the Marine will be built in Jacksonville, North Carolina, at the Lejeune Memorial Gardens adjacent to the Beirut Memorial. The state-of-the-art museum will be a 40,000 square foot building with 3 main galleries, a changing gallery, and an orientation theater. As you approach the museum, you will be greeted by a large eagle, globe, and anchor sculpture, setting the tone for the experience ahead. You will cross a bridge and enter the museum through the Great Hall. The Museum of the Marine visit begins in the Great Hall, a majestic light-filled space with full-color campaign ribbons etched into the floor-to-ceiling windows. We envision hosting events such as birthday balls, retirement ceremonies, and reunions. Visitors get their bearings in the museum's theater with a short film. 3 high-definition screens will portray the history and accomplishments of Carolina Marines and the communities that support them. At the end of the film, the main screen will lift, and visitors will walk down Freedom Way. Yellow ribbons on trees, sheet banners hung from fences, and scenes of reunion are reminiscent of the community's way of welcoming home Marines and honoring their service. Since World War II, the Marine Corps has relied upon Carolina bases to support its East Coast forces. The Carolina and Corps Gallery will trace the evolution of these bases into the finest military facilities in the world, along with their growing partnerships with surrounding communities. Here, the visitor will learn about the contributions of these communities and the significant units, concepts, doctrines, and equipment that was developed in the Carolinas, enabling Marines to be able to win on future battlefields. Next is the World Warriors Gallery. The history of the Marines that call the Carolinas home is also the battle history of the Marine Corps, from Guadalcanal through Korea, Vietnam, and ongoing humanitarian assistance and counterterrorism operations around the globe. In war and in peace, the Marine has been ever vigilant. From World War to Cold War, from battlefield to humanitarian relief, Carolina-based Marines have superbly executed every assigned mission across the broad spectrum of challenges offered by a hostile world. This gallery will tell the story of the ingenuity and flexibility that are a hallmark of Marines. Our third main gallery is the 21st Century and Beyond Gallery. The future of the Marine Corps is being developed every day in the Carolinas, and Marines are constantly adapting to the changing environments of modern warfighting. Ever conscious of our motto, Semper Fidelis, the Marine Corps aggressively pursues new technologies and doctrines to enhance our capability to meet new challenges. This gallery will showcase the new equipment and emerging technologies that will be used by the Corps for mission accomplishment on a modern battlefield. How does the Corps bring new aviation technology like the MV-22 Osprey from blueprint to battlefield? What is the Carolina Marine Air Ground Task Force? Here, the visitor can experience what it is like to be a modern Marine and see some options for the future. Inside each of the 3 main galleries will be a memory zone which will provide a place for former Marines to record their memories of the Corps. Future visitors, archivists, and researchers will be able to access edited versions of the clips to ensure that the Carolina Marine heritage is not forgotten. Leaving the 21st Century Gallery, visitors will return to the Great Hall and look through the large windows outside to the Remembrance Memorial, a place for quiet reflection among the monuments in the Memorial Garden. Imagine the late afternoon sun streaming through the majestic campaign ribbon windows, bathing you in the proud heritage of the Marine Corps. At night, the museum will stand watch as a testament to the sacrifices and courage of those who have served. The Museum of the Marine will allow visitors the opportunity to understand the ethos of the Marine Corps and reflect upon those qualities that are important to all Americans. The museum will honor the epic accomplishments of the citizens and Marines who came together in 1941 to create one of the world's premier training grounds. In the decades since then, the Carolinas have contributed many firsts to the Marine Corps capabilities. Black Marines, women Marines, and Reserve Marines will be recognized, along with war dogs, body armor, development of amphibious doctrine, and helicopter assault tactics. And the tradition continues with the operational development of the MV-22 Osprey and the designation of the Corps' first Wounded Warrior Barracks. The Museum of the Marine logo displays the campaign ribbons that are a common part of the Corps' proud heritage. We fervently hope that there will be no more wars that will generate additional campaign ribbons. We hope you will join us in our noble venture to create a lasting memorial to honor the unique contributions and sacrifices of Carolina Marines and the communities that supported them.